What's up, guys? It's Leo here. A lot of you guys may know me as Leo the Lean from Instagram. I'm super excited to be starting this YouTube channel. I've kind of been wanting to start this for a while now. Pretty much my only setback was the lack of a camera, so Christmas finally came around and I finally got my camera, so here I am. I kind of want this to be like an addition to my fitness journey that really kind of started with my Instagram. So I started my Instagram 2 months before my first show last year. At first I really didn't know why I made one, what I was really intending to do with it, or where I was going to take it in the future. So pretty much I just didn't know what I was doing with it. But it wasn't very long until I kind of like segued into this fitness community, what we refer to as FitFam. And I kind of started developing these relationships with people that kind of shared the same passion as me. And it's actually a very beautiful thing because, you know, as corny as it may sound, like it's hard to find people that are thinking on the same wavelength as you. I've developed these very, very close relationships with people, and I mean, you guys definitely know who you are. But anyways, in this video, what I really want to talk about is an introduction of myself, what fitness has done for me, what it's doing for me, and kind of where I want to be taking it in the future. So pretty much growing up in high school, I was never really content with my body. I always carried, you know, an excess amount of weight. And so my first kind of like response to that, or way to solve that, was to join the cross-country team. And so I spent much of my years in high school running on the team, countless miles, countless miles, races, you know, all the good stuff. And I lost a ton of weight. In fact, I lost so much weight. I got very skinny very quickly. And then I kind of had like a relapse and I started to gain weight again. And I kind of stayed stable for some time, but still never really satisfied with where I was. This was towards the end of high school, and so at some point high school did end. And maybe I'll make a separate video where I go into more detail about this specific thing. But you know, high school ended, like I was saying, and what I really loved about you know, cross country, other than the fact that I was losing weight, was that it was definitely a way to like kind of like exert myself, kind of like push my boundaries. You know, it was very like one-on-one, especially in a race. And so, like I said, high school ends. I'm kind of like looking for this, something to fulfill this, because I'm no longer in the team anymore. I pursue my other passion, which is architecture, by the way. I'm currently at school at Pratt Institute. I'm in my 5th year. I will be graduating in May. Thank God, it's been such a long time. It's been a long 5 years, I'll tell you that much. In the course of those beginning of those 5 years, I was looking for that thing to fulfill, you know, that gap that was now left by that cross-country team. And you know, I made myself to the gym. I forget how it happened, but I kind of made myself there one time. I kind of needed to get out of studio. Studio is the space in which we work on our drawings, our models, you know, diagrams, all kinds of things for our architectural presentations. And you know, I got myself into the gym. I did some workout that I found online, and I was pretty much hooked since then. I remember, you know, one of my best friend, his name is Nick. I took him to the gym. He was my suite mate at the time. He's presently my roommate. You know, we did the whole thing. We did the squats, we did the whatever, and it was a great time. And you know, he still works out, and I still work out. And that space just always served as an area for me to go whenever, you know, the nights became too long, or I just needed a place to go, or, you know, somewhere different. Let's say like 2 years down the road, you know, I started to get more serious, you know, started to dial in more on my nutrition, you know, consistent working out. At some point I'd made the decision that I was going to be entering a show. And that was around the time that I made my Instagram, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video. You know, I didn't do well in that show. You know what? At the time I was very bummed out, but what I realized is that you just have to work that much harder if you really want something. And so since then, my fitness, my nutrition, everything has been much more serious with me. I'm also really excited because I know that now there's going to be the introduction of Classic Physique. So pretty much what that means is that, if you don't already know, what that means is that what they're trying to do is they're trying to push all the guys that are too big for regular physique into Classic Physique. And so what I hope will happen is that you know, the divisions will become evened out, and there will just be more of a fair playing field for everyone. And so we'll see what happens, because there's that first show coming up this spring. Further along the road, I got in contact with Marcus and Andrea at Team Dobar, and we became, you know, pretty tight. You know, their donuts are amazing, and I was pleasantly surprised and, you know, very happy when I was offered the, you know, being sponsored by them. Was just totally an honor for me. One of those things is that would have never happened if I had not, you know, gotten myself out there. And, you know, like, along with that, some of the other things that I want to be doing is I'm going to be pursuing my NASM. I purchased a package. I'm going to get that studying down, and I have intentions of getting my certification sometime in April. That's kind of, you know, just another branch in my fitness journey. So I hope that gave you guys a brief little intro about myself. I hope that wasn't too boring. But tomorrow is back and shoulders, and I love training my shoulders, so I will be taking you guys with me to the gym and show you a little bit of what I like to do. So what you guys just saw was my typical pre-workout meal. Nothing fancy, just oatmeal and some bananas. I generally like to have about 25% of my carbs for the day before my training session, at around 45 to an hour before. That's pretty much the general consensus across the board, but except for maybe my high carb day, which right now is set at 600 grams of carbs. If you do the math, that would be 150 grams of carbs before my training. So that's too much, so I pretty much cap it out at 100. But every other day, which is my low carb day, I tend to stick around 40 to 50 grams of carbs. And that's just what works for me. So personally, I wouldn't recommend anything above 30% of your carbs for the day. If you guys would want, and if you find it helpful, I would definitely do a blog on supplements I've taken in the past, supplements I'm taking right now, how I feel about what works and what doesn't work. So just leave a comment down there, and I'll be sure to get back to you guys on that. But anyways, I've probably been out here for too long, so I'm gonna go inside and get my lift done. What do we have here? Looks like a box from bodybuilding.com. Eight bottles of fish oil. Gotta take your fish oil, guys, it's important. And that concludes vlog number 1. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed making it for you guys. I will be making more in the future. If you guys have any suggestions on what kind of things you guys want to see, don't hesitate. Leave me a comment down there, and until next time.